Hello students, this video lecture is for class 6th, subject SST, lesson 2nd, and this will be of part 2. In the last video, we have talked about till Neolithic or New Stone Age. Now let's see how was the life of the early human. The primitive man lived by hunting and food gathering. He wandered in search of game. Here, this word game is not appropriate. It should be either water or home or shelter. So, please cut this word and do write either water or shelter. He wandered in search of water and food or shelter and food. He preyed on wild animals and collected edible plants, roots, fruits, berries, etc. from forest. He used stone tools for hunting animals, chopping meat, cutting wood, and digging roots and tubers. So the early human lived by hunting and collecting its food. He roamed from one place to another in search of food, water, shelter, etc. He also preyed on wild animals and collected edible plants, roots, fruits, berries, etc. from the forest. He used stone tools for hunting animals, chopping meat, cutting wood, digging roots and tuber. He consumed raw flesh of animals and birds. He also caught fish from streams. He supplemented his food from forest products. Thus, he was totally dependent on nature for his survival. He ate raw flesh of animals and birds. He also caught fish from the river, ponds, or lakes. He supplemented his food from forest products. Thus, he was totally dependent on nature for his survival. Now let's come to the next paragraph. To protect himself from cold and rain, early man wore skins of animals or barks of trees. To protect himself from the vagaries of weathers and wild animals, he took shelter in caves and rock shelters or up in the thick trees. So to protect himself from cold and rain, primitive man wear the skin of the animals or bark of the tree, and to protect from the weather and wild animals, he used caves as centers and rock shelters or up in the thick trees. Here are the three pictures of early men which demonstrate how they gathered food, how they hunted other animals, and how their shelter was. Now next move to the next page, which is human make tools and weapons. The primitive man was physically weaker than ferocious wild animals. As he was afraid of them, he moved around in groups. He began to make tools and weapons to use against his predators. And to obtain his food, he used natural objects like sharp pieces of wood, branches of trees, and stones to kill these animals. Actually, his is not the word I was expecting here. So cut this his, and the sentence should be stones to kill these animals, not these animals. So cut this his. The flint, a steel grey stone, was hard enough to chip off and produce sharp edges. His weapons included crude axes, spears, knives, hammers, and digging tools. These weapons and tools served many purposes, including cutting, killing animals, and removing their skin, digging earth, etc. Such implements have been found along the riverbeds in the Shivalik foothills of the Himalayas, Panch, Jammu, and Deccan Plateau. So what this paragraph tells us that as the primitive or early human was physically weaker than the other ferocious animals such as lion, tiger, so he was afraid of them, and result of that they moved in groups, and also they began to make tools and weapons to use against his predators and to obtain his food. He used natural objects such as stones, wood, branches of trees which have sharp edges to kill these animals. The flint is a steel grey stone that was hard enough to chip off and produce sharp edges. And few of the weapons which were included at the as a use of early humans are crude axes, spears, knives, hammers, and digging tools. And the purpose or uses were cutting, killing animals, and removing their skin, digging earth, etc. Such implements have been found along the riverbeds in the Shivalik foothills of the Himalayas, Panch, Jammu, and Deccan Plateau. So, this was your part 2 of this lesson. In the next video, we will be talking about techniques of tool making. Thank you.